Okay, so Laurel Christensen has been in here bugging me, telling me, and I should be flattered. I should be honored. I should be deeply grateful that she chose Saying It Like It Is to be the lead book club selection for March, I guess. Must be March since February's almost over. And I'm looking through this little book and thinking, well, good luck in having a conversation that lasts more than 4 minutes about this thing. But if you think you can, she has asked me, and why I have let her talk me into this is a mystery to me, except that she is a persuasive gal. She's asked me if I would just tell you a little bit about some of the pictures. So I'm just going to tell you about a couple of them. When the publishing department wanted to do this book, they suggested that some of the photos in this little gift book that contains some of the statements that I've written over time, they suggested some pictures should be things from my family or that mean a lot to me. And so we started looking for photographs of places I care about, places that have meaning, and then people that have meaning, and most of them are my family. In fact, you will see that there is a picture in this book of every one of my nieces and nephews, all 17 of them, because they all had to be in here, with the exception of my eldest nephew, who is not in here, but his oldest son is my first great nephew. So I was pretty sure he would rather have his son's picture in than him. So there are some pictures that have some meaning to me. I'll give you an example of just several. First of all, you'll see some pictures of some women around the world, and they're absolutely a reflection of the, I don't even know how to say, deep affection is way too tame, of the deep, deep feeling I have about the women of the church who live all over this world. So you'll see a picture of some of the women from Ghana. It's one of my favorite pictures ever. A large group of Ghanaian women that we took after having a series of meetings with them. There's a picture of 4 or 5 sisters on the island of Okinawa, and you can just tell by looking at them that they're pretty spunky and just looking for a little adventure. And we had so much fun with those sisters in Okinawa. There are other sisters of sisters around the world. You'll see pictures of missionaries. You'll see pictures of places I deeply love, like the Holy Land, the Sacred Grove, Nauvoo, the Nauvoo Temple, the North Shore of the island of Oahu, which is a special place for me for different reasons. Hong Kong, probably my favorite city on the planet is Hong Kong, and you'll see a picture of Hong Kong. I'm going to single out just a couple of photos really quickly. You'll see my oldest great nephew, I already mentioned that, with a little tractor. I should tell you about the little tractor. It is a replica of the first tractor I drove on the farm. So you'll really, really, really want to look very careful at that tractor, because it has great historical significance. Okay, there's a really tender photo that's early in the book, and it's a picture of a little girl, young girl, surrounded by 2 boys who happen to be her cousins, and they're standing in front of, if you could look carefully, 2 caskets at a graveside. The little girl was there at the funeral of her older brother and older sister, my nephew and my niece, who died in a tragic and sudden car accident. And there's something about that picture, it's on page 12, where 2 of her older boy cousins have just gathered around her, and you can see that they're just all trying to comfort this little girl who lost her best friend, her older sister, and then her older brother, whom we all just adored. And when you look at that picture, at least for me, it brings back just floods of emotion and feeling about the fact that we honestly do believe in covenants, and we really do believe in ordinances, and we really do believe that we're all together, and there hasn't been anything easy in our family about losing those 2 children. But, I mean, you still have to deal with all the loss, all the pain, everything that goes with it. But the reality that they are not gone and not lost, and that they're connected, in fact, is really pretty vibrant. And then towards the end of the book, you'll see a couple of my nephews who are standing in front of the statue, bronze statue that is at the end of Harley Street in Nauvoo. And it's a statue called Eyes Westward. And Brigham and Joseph are motioning across the Mississippi River and looking towards the west, and here's where we're going to go. And a nephew who had just returned from his mission was there right after he was home, and my youngest nephew, who was the younger brother of the boy that died, So he lost his older brother, for the time being at least. And I'll never forget that moment when my returned missionary nephew said, "Hey, Spence, come here, let's go stand in front of the statue. Let's see what it feels like to pretend like we're Joseph and Brigham." And so they strike this pose, not mimicking Joseph and Brigham. It was all very respectful. It was all in a spirit of, let's see what it feels like, what they might have felt like if they were motioning across the Mississippi. And it was a really neat moment for those of us who watched this little tutoring going on from an older cousin to a younger cousin. Honestly, I can't fathom that you can find anything to talk about out of this little book. But if you can, I'll be grateful. And I have put in this little book some very short statements about things I care deeply about that I think really matter. And so thank you for being willing to indulge this and for being willing to look at this little book. Thanks.